Thank you, thank you. And if any of you guys want to fill in, we have some room over here. I see you guys are like way, way out there. You can actually see us over here if you'd like.
Where's that? I'll get nervous if you're not close.
Yeah, David needs the support. He gets nervous. Hey everybody, I'm Chris Detert from Influential. We are the world's largest and, objectively speaking, the best influencer marketing company in the world. I have the pleasure today of interviewing my dear friend David Dobrik. He begged me not to read this, but I'd like to frame what an amazing person you're about to hear from.
We can see it. So.
David Dobrik is a digital megastar, TV personality, and entrepreneur known for making viral content. Look at him, he's red. With over 70 million followers across his social platforms, David has mastered the art of quick-cut content. Named Gen Z's Jimmy Fallon by the Wall Street Journal, Dobrik exhibits his characteristic charm and an undeniable relatability in everything he does.
It's like 4 paragraphs long.
Just a little bit more. With an impressive list of accolades, including Forbes 30 Under 30,
Pretending I didn't write it.
2 Kids' Choice Awards, a Teen Choice Award, and being named to Variety's Young Hollywood Impact List. David is here today to talk about the power that brands and creators have when they work together.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's amazing.
I quit. All right, so who is, and I'm going to put my hand on my chest, who is David Dobrik?
Oh, okay. Even after that paragraph. So
I'm
I'm David. I was born in Slovakia. That's like the gist of it. And then I moved here when I was 6, and I've always been fascinated. Like my parents loved watching late night, so I was always fascinated with the entertainment world. And I never really knew how to get into it, and I was really lazy. So when Vine came along, it was like the easiest step into social media. And then from Vine, I got really lucky and I got to pivot into YouTube, and that kind of introduced me to the rest of the social media world. And now that's kind of what I do. I opened a pizza shop recently. It's on Sunset. And it's
very good.
You can stop by there. But yeah, that's me for the most part. I'm 5'10", 27 next month. Yeah.
Single and ready to mingle?
Definitely single. Definitely ready to mingle, please.
Ladies.
So also, meet you at the shop. But yeah.
Cool. So you started on a 6-second platform. How did you figure out how to make that effective, and then how did that translate over into YouTube success?
Yeah, I think Vine is where I learned that like everyone's attention spans are really short, and I think when I started putting my videos together on YouTube, it was instead of like, talking about how I woke up in the morning and how I was brushing my teeth, I would just cut to like the more meat and the potatoes of the whole video. Just because of Vine, it's like every 6 seconds you're in a completely different setting, a different person, and that's kind of what I tried to do with my videos. And in terms of brands on there, I have no idea. I think Vine has been the toughest platform I've ever created anything on. There's nothing tougher than Vine. And I'm glad it disappeared the way it did, because I don't feel the pressure to post on there anymore, but it was the best. It was like a blessing.
So it just got easier after that, basically.
I even when I was doing Vine, I was like, this has to be the hardest form of I know it sounds so stupid,
yeah.
But like it took me like a week to come up with one Vine, and it's pathetic to even say, because I know you guys have like the toughest jobs, and I'm over here saying I can't put a 6-second video together, but yeah.
Yeah, when we started Influential, it was like primarily Vine was like the thing, and like I couldn't believe that a bunch of you guys sat around all day like worrying about 6 seconds, but I guess so little can be put into that so much thought has to go into that.
No, I had like weeks where I was like, I couldn't come up with anything, so I'm like, okay, this week I'm only staying at home, I'm not seeing anybody, and that didn't work. And then next week I'd be like, okay, this week I'm going out every night, maybe I'm gonna get inspired. And it's like, I was like completely dry. And then when I started YouTube, I put myself to a schedule where I had to do 3 posts a week, and I think I'm always like procrastinating, so that like put a lot of pressure on me. So for 4 or 5 years, I was doing 3 videos a week, and like I never had time to take a break. And I think that's what led me to build something bigger than being able to procrastinate on 6 seconds. So yeah.
Yeah. So nowadays, what's your favorite platform?
Snapchat. Yeah.
Do tell.
Well, I just post on that. I post on there like 80 to 120 times a day.
Also.
Yeah, I'm posting right now. I have my third hand. It's just the easiest platform, like to do anything with. Like the thing I didn't enjoy so much about YouTube is like it would definitely break I'd have a camera in my hand all the time. So there was never a moment where I just didn't feel awkward anywhere. And Snapchat lets me like organically post as much as I can and share as much as I want to. And I think like social media is so interesting because there's the way I think things work is there was movies and there was TV shows and there were YouTube videos and then there was Instagram and there was Instagram stories and then Snapchat and like everything just like strips down a person and makes it even more like authentic to that person. I think Snapchat is like the most authentic because there's no editing, there's nothing, you just upload it right away. And I just enjoy that. I just think the process is so much easier. But other than that, TikTok and stuff, yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, you're the biggest single creator on Snapchat?
Yeah, I mean when Kylie posts, like that day she crushes. But like, if she's on Visa, then I'm in the lead.
He's number one. Let's talk about brands. What is like a dream brand? If you had a dream choice of any brand to work with on this planet, who would that be?
Well, I like movie studios a lot. So like Marvel is definitely my favorite, and I'm like a big Marvel fan. So I just that would be the 100% be the dream. Anybody here from Marvel?
Yeah. Can we make that happen?
No, but that's probably the dream.
Yeah. Have you worked with brands that have given you the sort of leeway that you hope to have? And let's just talk about that in general, like in the creative process, what's the most important thing to you as far as the way that you work with a brand and how they give you opportunity to be yourself?
Yeah, all the time. I think it's crazy when a brand, it hasn't been like years where a brand's been like giving you talking points. I think that's like the most insane thing. Like, I think when you're doing a brand deal, the most important thing is that as a brand, you have the opportunity to gift the influencer an experience that they wouldn't be able to have normally. And I think that's what's so important about a brand picking the right influencers. Like you want the people that are already passionate about what you're trying to promote, what you're trying to push. Like one of my favorite creators to watch is this guy named Soups, and he just covers like superhero content. Like it's so crazy, but like he'll go to all the premieres and like it's when he gets a brand deal from like Paramount to go see Transformers, it's like double exciting for me to watch because not only am I already consuming what I would be from him, but I could see how excited he is to be working with them, and it makes me want to support Paramount more, and it makes me want to support him more because they're making everybody's dreams come true. So like somebody we worked with a lot when I was posting YouTube videos was SeatGeek, and I think we did like over 15, 20 videos with them. And every time we did a brand deal with them, there was an ad read, and then someone would be surprised with a gift. So it was like, most of the time it was like Teslas or cars. So I think we gave away like 15 cars with them. So like anytime that ad read came on, people watching the video would know that there's something exciting coming along with it. So they wanted to support SeatGeek, even though SeatGeek was a ticketing website. They were just stoked that they were helping me out, and they were stoked they were helping other people out with mortgages, cars, and stuff like that.
You became kind of famous for like giving stuff away. Like, what was the impetus of that? And, has that been like an effective medium for you as far as the brands come to you and go, I want to give you stuff away. Can you give it away for me?
Well, yeah, I think the most important thing was when I was doing YouTube was to make the video good. So like if a brand was to come along, there was never any idea of pocketing that money. It was always just to give it away. And that's not saying that I'm Gandhi or anything. Like I just wanted to make like the most fun videos to watch. My favorite things to watch growing up was soldiers coming home after like being in war. I don't know what it was, but like I love reactions.
Yeah.
So like, instead of going to war, like the easiest thing was to like purchase vehicles and surprise people with things. And like that was the way of like getting like happy and fun reactions. And like when working with brands, that's always the way we're looking for is like what can this brand offer somebody. Like when I worked with a studio a couple weeks ago, I took my siblings to their first premiere, and that was just like an experience that this brand provided for them that at the end of the day like benefited them because they were granting this experience to them. Brands are like make-a-wishes for like people. Like you can really like utilize like everything to make someone's dreams come true if you're pivoting the right way.
Well, what was your favorite example of that?
I worked with EA Sports, and instead of, they didn't pay me, I don't think they paid me, did they pay me $1 for that? No. Instead, they gave me a Lamborghini, like a full-on Lamborghini, and I got to give it to my friend the next day, who's like, I mean, anybody's dream car is a Lamborghini, but like, whose dream car is a Lamborghini was the best moment I think I've ever captured.
That was our buddy.
So fun.
Who's our wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Was Zane jealous?
Everybody was jealous.
Everybody was jealous. You had to pick your favorite kid.
No, I stopped talking to my friends for like 3 weeks after that. It was bad.
You should have just gotten them all one.
Yeah, like a smaller car would have worked. But yeah, I think that was the best moment. But any of those things, like when we would do like college shows or like any brands with like paying for kids' tuitions, like that's the best. And it just makes, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, you have this amazing crew called the Vlog Squad.
No. Yeah.
How did this rambunctious group of folks come together, and what is it that makes that group special to you?
There's just a lot of contracts. No, I flew out from Vine, and I think it was like a thing where I remember when I was watching bigger Viners go to LA, everyone was kind of just like meeting.
Yeah.
So I kind of just tried doing the same thing, and I just like literally met the best group of people that I got like along with so well, and they've just been my friends ever since. And we just created videos together, and we've just been doing that nonstop. And yeah, now they're starting their own little businesses. Some people are musicians. Some people have a coffee company. My friend has a fitness company now. So it's like, yeah, it's really cool to see things like grow out of it. But yeah.
I came to your house last year and I couldn't believe it. Like some of them were like working out in the gym, some of them were like back on the tennis court. Like everybody just comes and hangs out at your house. That's sort of like kind of how it goes.
No, my favorite show growing up was That 70s Show.
Yeah.
And I love the basement idea. Like I always wanted to have a house. Like I don't care if I'm on the moon or if I'm completely out of the country. Like I just want people to be cycling in and out of my house. Like I just like the idea of like the door being open. The other day I was playing in the back of pickleball or something, and somebody walked right into the house and handed me their business card.
I walked in like that too. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, for YouTube. And I was like having a conversation. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like, do you know Ilya, like my friend who I live with? And they're like, oh, no, the door was just open. I just wanted to come pitch my channel. Which is fucking insane to me. But it's like you can't do it. You just take the card and be like, okay. But yeah, that's a little too far of an open door policy. But I do love it to some extent. So yeah.
Another thing I noticed in going through your house is this obsession with pizza artwork, which obviously dovetails nicely into this part of the conversation. Tell us the impetus behind Dobrik's Pizza.
It was just the name. I don't even eat pizza. I haven't had a slice when No, it was.
I explain the name in case people can't read it.
Yeah, so my last name is Dobrik, and then the pizza place is spelled like pizza dough. Yeah, it's pretty fucking genius. So yeah, I don't know. I'm from the suburbs of Chicago. My manager Natalie is too, and so is my friend Ellie, and all of us. I've moved out like 6 of my friends to come work with us. So like we're all from a pizza hometown type of place, and like that was always around when we were having people together. So like we wanted to make a pizza place. I want to own a hotel one day. Like I like the only reason I like to create anything is because I want it for free. So like a pizza place, like the fact that I can walk in and like just grab it and just walk out is amazing. And a hotel I want to own because I want to be able to walk in and like have the front desk person go like, welcome back, Mr. Dobrik, and then I go up to my little room and like that idea I just love. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing really behind, like, I'm not the craziest business guy, but I really like making things that like I enjoy and I want to be a part of and I want to be around, so like Pizza Place is definitely on the list of that. So yeah.
Well, I gotta commend you. You've kept your svelte figure after a year of having pizza.
No, I've actually, thank you so much, but I've put on 20 pounds in the last 2 months. It's crazy. And on the other side, we also started a fitness company, and I pulled my back, so I abandoned that whole aspect of my life. And did someone say, oh, and did somebody recently pull their back here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did? It sucks. It's crazy, and it made me hate working. It makes, like, when I see people working out, I just want to tell them to stop because when you pull your back, yeah, okay, sorry.
Well, let's talk about some business stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think is like the successful traits of using influencers in a campaign for brands?
Oh, I think it's so important to find the person that is in the niche of what you're looking for. Like I was referring to Soups, like the superhero guy. Like I don't think there's anybody. I think people make a mistake where big brands go for big names. Like a lot of people went to F1, or like a lot of influencers went to F1. I was seeing a lot of things where people didn't really know who the drivers were, and there was a lot of other influencers that would have like, this would have been the dream come true. And I think there's ways to like have people go that are already like part of the brand and already enjoy going, and they could just elevate everything in that way. But yeah, and I think the most important part is giving a creator full control of what they're creating. Like when we were doing SeatGeek, there were moments where I'd ask him, I'd be like, I have a person I want to give a vehicle to, can we do it? He wouldn't even watch the video until it was up. Like you have to be able to trust, and this happens over time, but you have to trust the creator you're working with because they know their audience the best. So I think that's the most important. I don't even remember what the question was, that's why I kept talking.
No, I was kidding. You did all right. You did all right.
Okay.
So let's talk about creators that you feel like are doing it right. Like who are the creators that you look at right now and go, they got it. They've got that special thing, and they connect well with brands, and they're universally enjoyed by people.
I mean, I think that's so tough because, I mean, there's obviously the Mr. Beast, the Arax. On TikTok, it's like Octopus Lover, Alex Earl. I think they're great. But like for the most part, I think what's so cool about TikTok now is there's not really like those certain creators to watch. Like I remember like 5 years ago, like you had like your 7 like big creators, and like every brand deal is funneled through them. But like I think like if you're a brand and you're looking to work with people, and you're looking at someone like me who'll charge you like a good amount of money, or you can get like a bunch of smaller creators for a better price. Every time, take the smaller creators because it just doesn't make sense to funnel all your money. Like it's just you can have so much more success with multiple creators, especially ones that like really know what they're talking about, than like just one big creator and just do like one big splash. So I always recommend like a brand going for the smaller fish.
Let's talk a little bit about TikTok. What is it that you think brands can learn from creators about how to effectively utilize TikTok?
I think experiences. I think on TikTok, the things that really don't do well is when it's like a direct ad read. So I think the things that work really well, even though they've gotten some shit before, is like trips. So like when a group of people, like that's how you get like the most eyes on anything, when you take like a group of influencers on a certain trip, or even like a dinner, or even like for an event. I think that's like the more organic way to get people to be posting about your things. But I know like even when there's things like ad reads in a TikTok, it just gets hidden, no one watches it, no one cares. I think the easiest thing to do as a brand too is to gift influencers things. Like I know that's like, I'm not just saying this for me, I don't need more guys.
We'll provide his address afterwards.
But yeah, we will. But like it's just so simple. Like when we do anything that we need like influencers to post about it, like make a good gift package, and it's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just send it to the right people, and it's like people love opening things, and like influencers have to post for a living. Like that's the thing, is like they're going to be posting a day to day. So instead of like paying them $45,000 for a post, send them like a really cool $2,000 gift package. They'll blow their minds. So an influencer getting something for free for $2,000, or getting a paid gig for $100,000, the $2,000 is going to blow their minds in the long run a lot more, because it's just like such an interesting thing, and like you just want to share it with your people. Like, look what Apple sent me. Apple would never send anybody anything. Look what. Yeah. I don't want to throw another brand in there.
Let's maybe talk about the what not to do. As a brand, is there anything that you caution brands not to do when it comes to dealing with influencers?
Yeah, I think it was just like, you just got to know your audience. You just got to know who you're hiring, and not always the biggest name is the best idea. I think that's it. And then yeah, just listen to your creators and listen. I think the thing that's most successful when we work with brands is like getting to know the people that are behind the brands, and like taking dinners with clients is so extremely important, and just like building a relationship where you can be on text and you're not emailing back and forth. I hate email. I don't have access to any of my emails. I don't know how Natalie does that, but like the best relationships I have are people that I can text or call. I also hate scheduling calls. I don't understand how that works. Like my phone is on me, just call me whenever you want. So like that type that's how I want things to work. And I know that you guys have 30,000 calls a day, but when it comes to me, yeah, just give me a direct call and like have a relationship with me, and I think that's an easier way to establish things. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about who some of those favorite brands are and the reasons why.
Yeah, I mean, I think Paramount, we've been working with like every month. We do everything for like all their movies. Who's something that recently that we really like? Oh yeah. Okay, don't even get me started on Celsius. I fucking love Celsius. Yeah, we work with Celsius. Celsius is like crazy. Like they are the most organic way of posting I've ever seen anything in my entire life. They're like, don't put any words on it, just hold the damn can. So like that makes it really easy. But yeah, I think studios are the best thing. Anything that provides an experience. So like hotels or like airlines, I think those are really simple. And yeah, I just like doing things that excite me. It's harder to promote things like apps or things like that. But yeah, I don't know.
I just got the 5-minute notice, so we're gonna take like 3 or 4 questions from the audience. Who would be interested in asking David a question? You there in the printed shirt?
So I'm curious how you find the right balance between creating really good content that continues to engage your audience and bring new followers, but also balancing ensuring that brands feel safe partnering with you and that brand safety element. And does that influence the content you make, or does it just influence the brands that you partner with?
Oh well. Okay, how do I solve for 5 minutes? Okay, I'm gonna have to ask you some questions because I'm kind of figuring out what you're saying. So like, in terms of creating content, like, are you saying like, what's the mix between how much content you're putting out organically and then how much are you doing branded? Or is that sort of your question or no?
I guess, so working on behalf of brands, it's really important for brands to feel safe when they partner with an influencer, right? They want to make sure that
It's a dangerous
if they
person to
work
partner
with
with.
you, it's a positive relationship. But
Yeah.
from your perspective, you have a following based on the organic content that you created and those people you were able to attract. So how do you not sell out, I guess, but also have brand partnerships?
Oh, that's so easy. I would take, like, especially when I was doing YouTube, I would take every brand deal underneath the sun. Like, there was never anything that came to me and I was like, no, I've never used this before. Because everything can be incorporated to elevate your content. And I think that's the only way to do any brand deal. Like when I get a brand deal, I think this is exciting. I have money to like make the video a very good video. I don't think you should ever take a brand deal and stuff it in the middle of your video where it has nothing to do with the overall concept. So that's like, I've always looked at brand deals as like, oh my God, this video is gonna be better than it was before. Because now I have an opportunity, now I have this like new money and like where I can surprise anybody with anything or create something that I wouldn't normally do before. So I guess like that way, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
And just piggybacking on what she was asking, like, do you censor yourself? Like, if a brand has guidelines and says, like, don't use this curse word or don't do this specific topic or anything like that?
Yeah.
Just free.
Yeah.
You?
No, I think for the most part, yeah. I mean, I think if when we were making videos and there was something like, I was like, no, this needs to stay in, like, we'd fight back and forth about the brand, but I'm not going to be doing, a deal for Disney and storing my ass off just for no reason. But like, if it makes sense in the moment, then yeah, I'll fight for it. But yeah, I do. I definitely do. Yeah. Yes.
When it comes to content quality, how do you differentiate between shooting something for a brand on your phone and like from your perspective or your POV versus like hiring a crew and making it this bigger, high quality production?
I've very rarely seen that like hiring a crew works unless there's like some like fun celebrity component to it. Like I always think on your phone is the best. I think you really start to lose people. Well, actually, hold on, there's 2 ways to do it. There's when you're an influencer and you have a brand deal and it just the overall like connection between you and the brand elevates you. I think it's really cool to have like a camera crew shoot your whole thing because then your audience is like, wow, like they're excited for you that you're part of this big thing. But I think like when you're promoting something that necessarily is that's maybe more a part of your normal life, I think every time you're gonna wanna do it in a more organic way. Like 9 times out of 10, it's me shooting something on my phone. I don't think we've ever even hired a crew like because of my choice. It was definitely like a friend was like, we need this, we need to run ads, we need this to like run on Facebook, blah, blah, blah. no, I would always recommend you shooting it yourself. And always shoot it how you would shoot the rest of your content, just to make it as organic as possible, I would say, yeah.
Very relevant question.
But also but also like everything works differently for everybody. Like that's why this is like so difficult, because like especially now the influencer space has like thousands of influencers and they all do things completely different. There's people that just play with Legos and like they crush it. And there's people that shoot everything just on disposables, and there's people that use DSLRs. Like everybody has such a different niche, so it's just like you have to stick to that. When you're a brand, you have to respect that, and when you're a creator, you have to respect yourself and make sure you're taking the right opportunities. So yeah.
All right, we got time for one more. Anybody else?
Do you have any recent examples of you doing a brand deal that you maybe weren't that excited about at the beginning, and then when you created the content, you got way more excited about working with that brand?
Yeah, that happens all the time. Yeah. Like when Allie pitched me something, like, oh, and then when we do it, we like, fuck, what was like a recent one? Like, there was one for like a travel company we were doing, and I don't remember the name, but it was for a travel company, and like I just didn't understand how it would work, and then I decided to surprise my friends with their first trip ever to Paris, and I remember like coming up with the idea was like really grueling, and then when we were doing it, it was the best thing in the world, and it turned out so amazing. We landed at the airport, and I blindfolded them all the way up until we got to the bottom of the Eiffel Tower so they could see it for the first time on video. But it was just like, that's like a blast. And like we got a trip out of it, and I got to use all the money from experience. So like, that's like a thing that like, how am I gonna, it wasn't even a ticketing company, it was something like a little bit more random, but it was just like how do you connect those two things and make it exciting? That's just all you gotta figure out. But yeah. I also did this thing once for Frank's Red Hot sauce, and I never thought it was fun, but then they brought this whole big Frank's Red Hot, the world's largest container, and Eli Manning dumped it on my head, so I thought that was a lot of fun too. No, it was just like water and food dye, but it looked fun. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that type of stuff is fun. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, David and I are going to go over here to the side afterwards. If any of you guys would like to come take a selfie, I'm sure your kids will love it. Maybe some of you guys will love it. But yeah, he's a very
Thanks
friendly
for
guy,
having
as
me.
you can see. Thank you, David.